Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. Let's go over this hilarious report from the Department of Justice Office of Inspector General. While I support the Second Amendment and do not believe that these so-called ghost guns should be illegal, this is still both important and funny. It shows that there has been corruption so long that the citizens of this nation should be worried. This story would probably never have been told if it not for the fact that the firearm parts were found by local law enforcement. Like I said, I support the Second Amendment, which means I do not believe that the supposed ghost guns are illegal, so them going after this person, number one, is wrong in my opinion. But that said, this person should cooperate, not for a lighter sentence, so we know who is profiting from taxpayers. These firearms were bought with taxes and used by people paid with taxes. So, the parts not being sold to bring money back for value to the taxpayers annoys me. And it just shows how deep the corruption is at the Department of Justice. So let's get into it. Okay, via the DOJ OIG report, let's get into what happened. The OIG initiated an investigation after a local police department recovered a PMF during an arrest of a private citizen and traced the serial number of the slide and barrel of the PMF to the DEA. According to DEA records, the slide and barrel were part of a DEA employee-issued firearm that had been destroyed over 3 years earlier. During the course of the investigation, the OIG learned that before the PMF was recovered, the DEA's process for destroying DEA employee-issued firearms involved separating the slide and barrel from the rest of the firearm and placing the slide and barrel in open bins in a gun cleaning room that was co-located at the DEA and FBI training academies in Quantico, Virginia. The OIG further learned that the gun cleaning room was accessible to thousands of employees and contractors at Quantico, including FBI and DEA Armory employees, FBI and DEA Academy trainers, and students, cleaning staff, maintenance contractors, and others. Because the gun cleaning room was a shared building that also held the Quantico cafeteria, security control measures were limited to a Quantico access card provided to every individual that had access to the grounds at Quantico. There were no safeguards to ensure that the location where the slides and barrels were stored was secured. Document who had access to the location or DEA property, or document when slides and barrels were destroyed. During the investigation, the OIG further learned the FBI similarly had at least sometimes separated slides and barrels from the rest of FBI employee-issued firearms pending destruction and placed the slides and barrels in the same open bins accessible to thousands of individuals at Quantico. We found that multiple FBI employees disagreed on their standard practice regarding the storage of these parts. While some FBI employees stated they'd never separated the slides and barrels of firearms from their frames, others stated this was standard practice. Furthermore, some FBI employees stated DEA and FBI never share bins for scrap metal, including slides and barrels, while others again recognize this as standard practice. So you see, they're arguing with each other, trying to say, no, we didn't do this. Okay. Some of this is going to be in my Substack. I'm not going to go into all the arguing and all that. Also, during the OIG's investigation, we identified concerns with DA's documentation processes for destroying firearms. Go figure, if you didn't know that these firearm parts were made it into the hands of somebody that isn't a DA employee. Yeah, specifically, we found that DA conducted an inventory of several hundred employees issued firearms intended for destruction in 2019 and later found that 100 of those firearms were unaccounted for. Wow. So basically, without going into too much detail, yeah, the DA isn't keeping up with their firearms, especially if they're supposed to be going to be destroyed. And yeah, if you want to look into the report itself and get more information, it's all in my Substack. But let me give you my opinion on this. While there is nothing special about the firearms that the DEA, FBI, ATF, any of these members of federal law enforcement have, it's still weird that usable parts, one, are being destroyed. Why are they being destroyed? I am pretty certain that there are folks that would gladly buy them. Hey, that makes money back for the government. That gives money back that the taxpayers aren't having to fund. Go figure that this would not be the first thought process of these folks. There are plenty of people out there that have the ability to buy them legally if you would allow it. Why aren't you allowing it? Two, how messed up does it have to be that parts of the Department of Justice not only can't account for where any of their things are? I mean, these are firearms. You would think they would pay attention to it. But they don't know where they went. They're arguing among themselves as to who's at fault. And it sounds like nobody thought that security was a big deal when it came to anything dealing with federal law enforcement. What's our taxpayer dollars been used for? Seriously, this is a joke. And I'm going to point it out every time that I find it. But hey, this has been Paul, Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day and y'all think about what your tax dollars have been used for. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're conservative. I don't care if you're liberal. I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.